this is Frank Clifford, and welcome to another Frank Answers presented by Astrology Hub. Now, I have a question here from May, a few months back, from Carol about her solar return. So apologies, Carol, for missing your solar return. I hope you had a great birthday. But Carol's question, like so many others that I've received, is about a particular transit or a particular chart that she's looking at. And she says that this year's solar return, her ascendant is in Pisces, conjunct Neptune within a 2-degree orb. What's the best way to work with this energy, which is great. That's always the question that we want to ask ourselves. She says, I don't want to be dazed and confused all year. No, I totally understand that, Carol. So let's take a look a little bit about solar returns. I want to share some insights that I have with solar returns. So let's share the screen. Here we go. We just have a quick look at Carol's chart. We can see, of course, that transiting Neptune is about 24 degrees 22 to 24 degrees this year of Pisces, square that Saturn. So of course Carol doesn't want to be dazed and confused all year, and she's got the moon and Venus conjunct in Aries, so she hasn't got time to be dazed and confused. The Neptune transit to Saturn in a way is saying, how do I bring a greater level of creativity, spontaneity, and just love, passion, art, music, whatever really feeds your soul? How do I bring that to my day-to-day life? And the square to Saturn is challenging Carol to go beyond, to have a look at how she structures her life and to say, oh, that can go. I can leave that for a while, or that's not as important, that can wait. You know, Neptune softens things. It tells us to take our time to just let things go if necessary, and to realize that everything is a consequence, but at the end, it's all inconsequential as well. All the things, you know, Neptune tells us not to worry or sweat the small stuff. So I totally understand why Carol is concerned about that this year. Now, I'm recording this now in September, so I hope you had a good birthday, Carol, but I'm going to give everyone a little bit of advice about solar returns. And this is Carol's solar return. And indeed, back in May, Neptune was 22 degrees Pisces on that solar return ascendant. Now, think of the solar return as an opportunity to see what is possible, the potential of the year ahead. And the solar returns are from birthday to birthday, give or take a day or so. The solar return will fall usually on the birthday, the day before, the day after. Occasionally, if you're born in the morning and it occurs late in the evening, it might be 2 days before your birthday or 2 days after. But generally speaking, it's your solar return will be the day before, after, or the day of your birthday. And if you expect things to be dazed and confused, they probably will turn out that way. But what Carol's asking is, what can she do with this type of energy? And when Neptune is strong by transit or solar return, again, we're being invited to step into a realm that is really not very Western world. It's not very suited to what we tend to do. We run our lives in a very Saturnian way by schedule, times, commitments, deadline. These are all Saturn constructs. Neptune says, step out of that and get in touch with something that's truly heartfelt and not driven by expectation, by commitment, etc. So having Neptune strong in a solar return is saying, invite Neptune in the very best way into your life. And I always think of the easiest way to access Neptune is not through drugs, it's not through alcohol, it's not through religious gurus who promise to rescue you or save you, or even through astrology, if you're expecting astrology to do that for you. The best way to engage Neptune is through music, through art, through poetry, where you're getting in touch with an inner feeling. You're letting it go, you're painting, dancing, swimming, playing an instrument, whatever it is that gets you in touch with the rhythm, with the inner pulse, the inner beat. And so having a strong Neptune in the solar return says, it doesn't mean you don't wash for 6 months or turn up late to everything and you let go of your Saturn. It doesn't mean that at all. What it means is it's time to embrace the unfamiliar things that we that are really from the Eastern part of the world that we're trying to inject into our Western world, and the vice versa often happens. So think of it in that way. I think of the solar return as a snapshot of what you could be doing in the year ahead. It's a time to renew your solar energy. Think of it like that. Now, Carol's had hers already in May, but any of you with a birthday coming up, think about what it is that you want to do in your life, bring into your life that is more of your sun sign, whatever star, birth, sun sign you have. Think of it in those terms. Obviously, when we do a whole chart, it gives us more information. But Carol, on her birthday, is going to be reminded what it's like to be a Taurian because she has the sun in Taurus. So it's a renewed solar energy. And something I learned over the years, and I share this with clients who've got upcoming birthdays when I see them, is to find out the time of your solar return and imagine the 24 hours after. And in this case, Carol's solar return is calculated for her birthplace. I tend to do that. Other people calculate it for different places, wherever that person may be living or visiting. Lots of different discussion I'll share with you at a later date. I tend to do it at the birthplace to look for different patterns that evolve out of that. In Carol's birthplace, a solar return happens just before 4 a.m. And let's just see, it's, yes, the day of her birthday itself, the 13th of May. So from 4 a.m. to 4 a.m. the next day, I would say to Carol, do a little bit of everything that you want in your life in the coming year, in those 24 hours. You don't have to stay up for 24 hours, but do a little bit of everything. Invite that. So it might be you want to see more friends, you want to do a bit of art, a bit of music, whatever the rest of the solar return says, and whatever you're craving in your life. Take your birthday, those 24 hours of the solar return, which again could be the day before or the day after, those 24 hours, and invest in them. Think of that old adage in astrology of a day for a year. Think of what you want in your life for the year ahead and add a little bit of that, sprinkle a little bit of that in those 24 hours. It might be you want to spend more time with friends, with a family member, doing more writing. So the solar return, instead of thinking this is what the year ahead is going to be, think of it as an invitation to do certain things, particularly in those first 24 hours where you're being invited to participate and to construct a model really for the year ahead in those 24 hours. If you've missed yours, it's too late. Your birthday was yesterday and you're kicking yourself for this not being uploaded before then. Don't worry about that. Advise other people to do this. It's a very healthy way of engaging in the year ahead. And if you've missed your own, still look at your solar return if you have it, but still make that commitment. And you can do that daily, of course. But at the solar return, there's it just engages you with that energy at that particular time. It's far better than making a New Year's resolution on the 1st of January, much better than that. It really is an engagement with yourself and with your soul. Okay, so Carol, we missed your birthday. Do a little bit of that next year. And if anybody else has any questions around that, please send them in. I'll do my very best to answer them. Okay, have a great one. Take care of yourself. See you soon.
If you're curious about how to interpret the impact of asteroids like Eris, Juno, Ceres, and Athena, as well as the other thousands of asteroids in the sky, you're going to love this workshop. It's happening live in September, and you get access to the recordings and course materials for life. Go to astrologyhub.com/asteroids to learn more and join us today.